You ever hear of fake cops trying to play tough and accidentally messing with the wrong family? Well, imagine this: two wannabe HOA officers slap cuffs on a teenager just for walking home, not knowing his mom is the district attorney. Before we dive in, drop a comment with the country you're watching from. Let's see how far this unbelievable story travels. It was late afternoon in a quiet suburban neighborhood. The sun had just dipped low enough to stretch long golden shadows across the freshly paved streets. The smell of barbecue drifted faintly from backyards, sprinklers hissed on neatly cut lawns, and kids were biking home before dinner. 16-year-old Daniel was one of them, tall, slim, with his backpack hanging loosely off one shoulder. He'd just finished basketball practice and was walking the last block to his house. His headphones were in, the beat of his playlist drowning out the hum of crickets. But then, brakes screeched. A black SUV rolled up beside him, tinted windows, flashing orange light bar clipped sloppily on top. Two men jumped out, wearing black polo shirts with bold white letters across the chest, HOA Patrol. One of them barked. "Hey! You're not allowed here after dark. Stop right there." Daniel froze, pulling one earbud out. I live here." The second man, heavier and clearly trying to look authoritative, waved a cheap-looking badge that caught the sun. "Don't play smart. We've had break-ins. Hands behind your back. You're coming with us." Before Daniel could react, they snapped plastic cuffs on his wrists. His backpack slipped to the sidewalk with a soft thud. His heart hammered in his chest. He stammered, "Wait, I swear, I live 2 streets down." But the men weren't listening. They pushed him toward the SUV, their voices dripping with fake authority. Across the street, Mrs. Peterson, a retired neighbor sipping iced tea on her porch, watched with wide eyes. Something felt off. These men didn't move like real officers. Their uniforms looked like something printed at the local mall. She quickly pulled out her phone. "This doesn't look right," she muttered, dialing the one person she knew could handle it, Daniel's mom. Now here's where the story gets unbelievable. Because Daniel's mother? Caroline Vega, the county's district attorney. Sharp suits, sharper wit, and a reputation for dismantling corruption with nothing more than a raised eyebrow. She was at home preparing dinner when her phone buzzed. "Mrs. Vega? This is Patricia from across the street. 2 men just grabbed Daniel. They say they're HOA police. You need to come. Now." Caroline dropped her wooden spoon, grabbed her keys, and within seconds her sedan screeched around the corner. When she arrived, the scene was chaos. Daniel was standing beside the SUV, plastic cuffs biting his wrists. His eyes were wide, scared but defiant. The 2 so-called officers puffed their chests like they'd just made the bust of the year. Caroline stepped out of her car, calm, but with a storm brewing in her eyes. "That's my son. Take your hands off him. Now." The taller man sneered. "Ma'am, stay back. This is official HOA business." Caroline walked closer, heels clicking sharply against the pavement. Her voice was ice. "Really? Official business? Then you won't mind telling me your names, your precinct, and why you think you have the legal authority to arrest a minor?" The men hesitated. For the first time, their confidence cracked. "We're authorized security," one stammered. "HOA gave us power to detain suspicious people." Caroline folded her arms. "Suspicious? He's wearing his school team jersey. He has his backpack. He lives here. What's suspicious is 2 civilians impersonating police officers. That, gentlemen, is a felony." The color drained from their faces. By now, a small crowd of neighbors had gathered. Whispers rippled through the street. Phone cameras recorded every word. Daniel finally found his voice. "Mom, they just pulled over and cuffed me. I didn't even do anything." Caroline nodded firmly. "I know, honey. You're safe now." Then she turned to the men, her tone sharp as a blade. "You're going to release my son. You're going to sit on that curb. And you're going to wait for real law enforcement to arrive. Because I just called them. One man laughed nervously, trying to wave it off. No need for all that. Just a misunderstanding. But Caroline's glare cut him short. Minutes later, sirens echoed down the street. Real police cruisers pulled up, lights flashing blue and red against the darkening sky. Officers stepped out, hands resting casually near their belts, but their faces all business. Caroline greeted them like colleagues. Officers, these men unlawfully detained my son while impersonating law enforcement. I'd like them taken in for questioning. The HOA pretenders tried one last excuse, mumbling about community safety, but the officers weren't buying it. Within moments, the fake cops were the ones in handcuffs, this time, real steel, not plastic. As they were led away, the taller man muttered under his breath. We didn't know who he was. Caroline's voice cut through the night air. You should treat every kid like he belongs. Because out here, he does. The crowd applauded quietly. Daniel's neighbors clapped him on the back, some shaking Caroline's hand. Daniel finally breathed, relief flooding his face. Mom, you came just in time. She smiled softly, brushing his hair back. That's what moms do. But remember, sometimes the loudest bullies are just the weakest in disguise. The two walked home together, the golden streetlights guiding their way. And for the rest of the night, every porch light on that block seemed just a little brighter. The fake HOA cops were charged with impersonating officers and unlawful restraint. As for Daniel, he learned something powerful that evening: never let anyone make you feel like you don't belong, especially when the truth is on your side. If you enjoyed this wild neighborhood story, hit that like button and subscribe for more unbelievable true tales. And don't forget, always question authority when it doesn't look right.